Yo! What's good, Israel? It's JB, and today, yes, today, this magical day, we have the Laws of Moses breakdown for y'all, okay? It's very windy out here. I hope it doesn't break my earphones, but without further ado, finna jump right into the breakdown, okay? Hope you guys are having a glorious evening, okay? So we're gonna start with Leviticus, right? So, little backstory. This is around the time where, in Leviticus, where Moses is giving us the laws, right, at Mount Sinai, right? Right after he gave us the commandments in Exodus and parts of it in, this is where we come out of the wilderness. It was Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. So we're in captivity, coming out of captivity, somewhere around that time, okay? I might be off a little bit, but that's generally what's happening, right? So this is some of the dietary laws about what we should be eating, keeping ourselves clean, right? And yeah, all right. So we're gonna start with Leviticus 11. And this is where it talks about foods, okay? So it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat." Right? So he's gonna explain to us what things we can eat that are clean and the things that we can't eat that are unclean, right? Because the Most High has an order for everything. He wouldn't tell you to eat something. The Most High knows what's supposed to be for our bodies, right? Because he wrote everything out from the beginning. So he's purposely telling us not to eat these things because it will have an effect on us, right? So let's see what he says, right? It says camel, right? Not supposed to eat camel. No one eats camel anyway. But it says, nevertheless, these ye shall ye not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but not divideth the hoof, he is unclean to you. So an animal has to have both. He has to have both characteristics. He has to chew with the cud, which is grass, and he has to divide the hoof, right? Okay, let's go down. 6, it says, "And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but not divideth the hoof, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you," right? So that's rabbit. No rabbit. "And the swine, though he divideth the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you." No pig. Bro, pig is the only animal, right, that you can get a disease from, cooked or non-cooked. Why would you eat that? Most of the time when you cook chicken or you cook beef, you take most of the time, most of the impurities out. It's probably like 99.9% of the impurities are out, right? It's a clean piece of meat to eat, right? But with pig, you put a piece of pork out on a 100-degree day, right, you might see worms crawling out of it. Why do you want to ingest that? It's nothing good about pork, right? This is the scavenging that we had to go through in captivity, in modern captivity, far as when we were in captivity here, like during earlier times in the 1900s when we were slavery, we were eating pig. They was throwing out the piece of the animals that they didn't want. Why do you think we now eat pig feet and we eat all of these exotic pieces of food when we didn't normally touch them? It's because we were in scavenger mode and we had to eat what we can eat. But it was unclean to us, and the Most High doesn't want us eating it. But that's why you might see black folk or like Haitian people or the original 3 tribes eating pig feet and stuff like that. It's unclean. We're not supposed to eat that stuff, right? It says, "Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you," right? So don't even touch the skin, right? Don't touch anything, right? Because little backstory, when I was in biology last year, I had to touch the pig. It's before I knew this stuff, but I was defiling my temple. I didn't even know it, right? This is why it's unclean also, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. I'm pretty sure it's 11. Or it says, "Know ye not." Let me see if I can pull this up. Know ye not. Know ye not that the temple of God dwelleth within you. I'm paraphrasing. I'm trying to find it in where it is. There it is. It says, what? This is 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not of your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body, and in your spirit, which are God's. So he's basically saying, the temple of the Most High. You are the temple of the Most High. So when you defile yourself, you defile the Most High. It's basically what he's saying. That's why you got to keep yourself clean, right? It's very important to stay clean and not unclean, because obviously. All right, let's go back into Leviticus 11. Okay, where were we at? We were at the pig, so we're at 9 now. These shall ye not eat of that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So once again, how we had the mammals, right, that had qualification, they have to divide off the hood and chew off the cud. Now with things in the water, they have to have fins and scales, right? Now you might be thinking, that's what I thought at least, a lot of animals or aquatic animals that were in the water, right, have fins and scales naturally, but things like catfish have fins, but they have no scales. So you have to watch out for things like that, right? It should be an abomination unto you. 11. They shall even be an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are that which ye have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination, the eagle and the ostrich and the osprey, and the vulture and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl and the nighthawk and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, the little owl, the cormorant, the great owl, the swan, the pelican, the gier eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, the loping, and the bat, right? All fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination to you. So that's like dogs, cats, all that weird junk, right? I'm trying to skip down because there's a lot in Leviticus I want to cover, so I'm just trying to touch the basic stuff. So when it comes to fish, I can just basically summarize it for you. So it has to have fins and scales. So make sure when you're, because we're Israelite and we have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, as I said in previous videos, these are part of the laws, because in Leviticus, you might as well just think of Leviticus as laws. These are laws. That's why when the Most High says, speak unto the children of Israel, he's commanding us to do whatever he's speaking unto us, if that makes sense. So it has to have fins and scales. So no crab legs, no shrimp. Okay, I know a lot of so-called black people eat that stuff on a regular. It's unclean to you. Why do you think they made it seem, right? Esau made it seem like it's a delicacy. Like, it's just like the purest thing that come out of the ocean. It's so nice and flavorful. Of course he's going to say that, because he got to keep you in sin at any cost. It's ordained by the Most High for him to be over us, right, Esau? We know that Esau rules the world, right? If you look at Job 9:24, right? Because the world was given into the hands of the wicked. You ask yourself, who rules the world, right? What nationality of people rule the world? They have to keep you in sin. So of course they're going to tell you that the crab legs and shrimp is delicacy and all of this stuff like octopus and stuff. But the Most High is telling you it's unclean. He's telling you unclean for a reason, because you're going to defile your temple, right? He don't want you to do these things because you got to stay clean for the Most High's sake. So remember that. It has to have fins and scales, and mammals have to chew off the cud, which is grass. Basically, most of the time, herbivores. Stuff that eat other animals, most of the time, he don't want you to eat, right? Okay. I'm going to skim to 15, right? Because we got a lot to cover, like I said. 15. And 15 talks about being clean, right? Not just in a dietary sense, but in a bodily sense, right? Okay. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when any man hath running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. Right? So he's talking about sperm or semen or whatever you want to call it. This is the running issue out of his flesh, right? So this is for the guys here. And this shall be his uncleanliness and his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue or his flesh be stopped from his issue, it is his uncleanness. Every bed wherein he layeth that he hath the issue is unclean, and everything wherein he sitteth is unclean. So if you just got finished doing the business or whatever, and it touched anything, or you obviously still did the action, so it came out of you, right? The running issue of the flesh, as the Most High calls it. Whatever you sit on or touch is unclean until evening, right? Now, evening is from 7 p.m., right, until the next day, which will be, well, the time zones are backwards, so I make sure I provide the time zones on a post, right, how the time actually was, but until evening, right, because I don't remember the time exactly above my head, so I don't want to get false information, right? But anything you touch or like I said, touch or lay on is unclean until evening. And we're going to continue reading here. You also have to bathe yourself, right? As it says in 6, right? And he sitteth on anything whereon he sat that hath the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening, right? Like I was saying. And he that toucheth the flesh of him that has the issue, which wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until evening. So even if you touch the guy that did the nasty and you didn't do anything, you're unclean until the evening, right? So that's, you see how the Most High is so meticulous in what he's telling us to do. He's telling us this for a reason. It's obviously a very important, it's obviously of a very important matter for us to be clean at all times, right? We were germaphobes at this time, pretty much. Unclean, get away, right? We're not trying to defile our temple over here, okay? And the same thing basically goes with girls, or women rather, at 19. And if a woman have an issue and her issue in her flesh be blood, right, her flower or her period, whatever you want to say, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever shall toucheth her shall be unclean until the even, right? So evening, again, you're always unclean until the evening. And far as 7 days, during that time, because we're in modern day, so you have like pads or tampons, whatever women use to, to control the amount of flow or regulate the leaking of flow, whatever you want to say. Before that time, before we had this stuff, women were, taken out of their household and they were dwelling in a tent for 7 days because they were all unclean together. They would just stay unclean together because whatever they touched would be unclean. And like I said, we were germaphobes at this time. So anything that was unclean to us, we wouldn't touch, right? So women would be separated, right? As it says in 20, and everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything that also she sitteth upon shall be unclean, and whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. Right. So that's basically what I was saying. So the same thing goes for the man and the women. Anything they touch, any person that touches them, if the blood so happens to touch the man, then he's also unclean for 7 days. So that's where the difference is. If the sperm touches somebody else, they're unclean until evening. But if the blood touches somebody, they're also unclean with them for 7 days. So that's the only difference. But that's basically what this is going into, if you continue to read down this chapter. So I'm trying to hurry it along here because it's a lot of Leviticus that we have to cover. Okay. Let's go down to Leviticus 18. All right. Let's go to Leviticus 18. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying to them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall not do my judgments and keep my ordinances, or you shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Right? Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgment, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. Okay, let's go to, we're going to go 4 to 19. The nakedness, this talks about ancestry. We don't do this type of stuff anyway. But if somebody watching this and they do this stuff, it's an abomination, thus saith the Lord. Okay, we're going to keep it pushing though. Ye shall therefore, no, we're at 6. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to them to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, wherein she be born at home or be born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. So it's basically talking about mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, stepmoms or stepdad. But during this time, Moses and them